All right, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. What you have been watching is a lot of Royal TVP on Eclipse. But you know what? These are, and I've said it many times, so I'm not just making it up now, but these types of games where you get like a bunch of the same matchup, maybe from the same guy, at least on one side, right in a row, you can actually see the growing of the players' thought process as they kind of adjust and figure out how to beat what they're up against. So like Shuttle's been playing, Royal's been playing against Shuttle, and now Motive here again. And these games were all played right in a row, so this must have been a frustrating ladder session. But you know, he basically got smashed in both games. You know, the Reaver Drop did a great job, and then he just did not have the units he needed to stop the 3-base attack. So, you know, those are things that you kind of need to make sure that you have down pat. But there's like a little bit of a shifting metagame right now where the Protosses are attacking a little bit more aggressively with a few more units. Yeah, I think he's done really well, Motive, in that previous game. Just a very kind of almost standard, but like just nailed the macro and went for the attack, and it worked really well. So, you know, I'm sitting here like really kind of thinking about it, because like I literally was talking about this you know, on my stream just recently. I've been losing some games like this, and that looked almost exactly the same, where it's like, okay, maybe a Reaver opener, and now they have a lot of units and they attack, and you lose a few too many units, and it just becomes, whether you die there or not, like if you lose too many tanks early on, the game gets out of control really quickly, because you can't threaten an attack. You know, like even if Royal doesn't die in one of these games, if you lose the majority of your siege tanks, Protoss knows that you can't attack, and they can just make nexuses all over the place. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, it takes 32 seconds to make a siege tank. You have 2 add-ons. Like, you know, how many siege tanks do you really need for an attack? Well, it's literally any time after the early game, it's more than 8. It's like, yeah. There's some 1, 3, and 5 tank timing attacks that have existed early on, and then after that it's like, okay, you actually need a lot. They are your real damage dealers. Anyways, he has been offensive gas this time, so a nice little change from that previous game. Looks like Royal wants to get his command center at his natural up really quickly. He is going to have 3 Marines, so he should be able to push back this Zealot. The Nexus has already started, and there is a secondary Zealot being made. Now, there's his money. Okay. And yeah, a 4th Marine on the way. He's also going to want to take this gas, of course. But there's a lot to do. He's got to buy a depot. He's got to make sure he's making non-stop Marines right now, because this Zealot's going to be a pain in the butt. Ooh. Okay, I think Motive should have hit the Marine twice. He could have gotten 2 hits on this Marine. He would have obviously taken a bit more damage on the Zealot, but I think the 2 hits would have been worthwhile. Anyways, he gets pushed back. That was really good by Royal to turn exactly when he had 4 Marines, and he did force him out. 4 Marines does kill a Zealot. Like, if you just attack, move them into each other, I think the Zealot kills probably 2 Marines. Depends. As soon as you start adding in micro, the 4 Marines can crush. But the Zealot was right next to them, so I'm just like, yeah, I feel like a couple hits there might have been worthwhile. But maybe he just saves this, and he wants higher health because he'll put in a Reaver Drop Blade or something like that. You know, there's plans like that do exist for sure. Okay, so Royal going to go ahead and throw that down. Is he going to take the secondary gas? Doesn't look like it. He got a slightly quicker command center than we saw previously in the other gas steel game against Shuttle. So just putting that out there. Slightly quicker command center. Maybe he wants to go more mineral heavy because of that. Second factory time is coming right up. So he'll get that going. Robotics as well as that second gateway. No range as of yet here for Motive. And, well, with the second gas going for Motive, I'm not surprised to see that. We'll probably see him go into Reaver quickly here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Also, obviously, he's got to get things like Dragoon range. But yeah, we'll wait and see exactly what that plan is going to be. Third factory gets started. And this is 3 factories without Armory or Academy. So it's definitely a very different looking game. 3 factory gained a little bit of popularity. I remember the people on this channel were pretty excited, I think, to see some of those 3 factory builds. Yeah, this is kind of like a funny 3 factory because it was like an offensive gas opener. The thing is, like, you can go for 3 fact and go like, 1, maybe 3 tanks. Not ever 1. Probably 3. Probably not 5. And do a little push out and like rally heavy Vulture, and that can actually do really good against or really well against robo openings. Oh, completely different than what I thought. So this is because Royal has to be setting up an attack because like you wouldn't get this third factory. You go Armory if you were going to play a more laid back game. Oh. Guys, this is a wildly different build. So he actually went 1 siege tank, and he's going 3 factory Vulture off of that. Not at all what I expected. 1 siege tank, like, this is the only thing he has that actually can really stand up and deal real damage to Dragoons. So I'm a little bit confused. It seems like he wants to try to just overwhelm with this. Really an interesting take on the 3 factory, but because we already have like Stargates going up for a carrier build, like there's not a lot of units here for motive. Now he brings his Marines and the tank up here. He's way out in the open. There's already observers. Range not done quite yet. Honestly, looking at this, I'd make a scout. I'm not even joking. Mini would make a scout too. But your opponent's out here with this many units, like, Well, the thing is you want to surprise them with the carriers, so the scout gives away what you were going to do. But you look at this and it's like, okay, well, if he's going to stay really aggressive on me, a scout can literally clear out, like, a lot. So I don't know. I guess we'll see if he goes for something like that. But a lot of mines being laid, very many offensive mines. He's dealt quite a bit of damage, but he's lost a lot of Vultures. And yeah, back the Dragoons go to the wall. He's, there's still a siege tank, and there's no actual third Nexus made yet. There's the fleet beacon. What a weird-looking game this one is. Adding more factories at home, 45 SCVs, so he's done a good job kind of keeping up on that production. A couple carriers on the way, as well as siege mode and an armory. Academy being made. Going up to those 5 factories. Okay, so if I'm Royal here, I know that the third Nexus didn't get started. I probably attribute this to my aggression and saying, okay, he probably added some more gateways because he thinks that I'm like going really hard on this. So I think in that context, obviously pulling back is very good. Adding factories is very good. It's just I don't think he actually has any idea that this is carrier at the moment. You could in the back of your head be like, oh, carrier's a possibility here. I think you could also be thinking, okay, Arbiter's a possibility. It's kind of weird the Nexus wasn't started, but sometimes you look at those spots and you say, okay, my pressure did that. And the thing is, a lot of times you'll be right on that as well. Like, pressuring is good because it makes people do things like not make a command center or a Nexus or a hatchery as quickly. So Vulture's coming up and going to pick off a little bit here, putting some pressure on at the wall. Going to be able to basically run out of there just with some damage. Carrier interceptor upgrade is almost done. A couple more gates coming out. 2 carriers almost completed. He hasn't shown carriers at all, so we definitely do have to... Oh, wait. Okay, he knows now. He just saw this here. So he knows that there's carriers. Adds 2 factories immediately. So he's going to go 7 factory all in at this point. He probably will get the minerals at some point to throw down another command center, but we'll see if he nails his macro perfectly, maybe not. But yeah, this is like... This looks good for Royal right now. There's no special tools for motive. He's got some Dragoons and Observers, and that's basically it. Nothing special going on, other than the fact that he's going for carriers. Citadel is something you're going to want to eventually add here, probably now. Forge before Citadel, okay. But yeah, like, I mean, This is going to be tough, and part of the reason why I think as well that it's going to be tough is not only did he scout this at an opportune time, he hasn't really lost any of his tanks yet or anything. He did reduce the Dragoon count earlier with Vultures, which is a nice trade, and also this whole terrain here is buildable. So you could bring SCVs and add in some missile turrets as anti-air as well, so that would be very, very helpful. But Royal coming up, and this is kind of a nice catch on these tanks, but the tanks are being micro back really, really well. Oh, God. He just flies right over the Goliaths. 10 health carrier already. That is brutal. That is brutal. You really need to make a lot of value there. This army actually did chase everything back, like, really substantially. It breaks my heart for Motive that he took so much damage on that carrier. There was, like, he could just have 2 full health carriers here whittling this down. One is just not scary at all. Not at all. All right, 2 more carriers are out, but 3 is so much less than 4. 3 is like such a funny amount. Well, let's see. He's bringing up his reinforcements. I think Royal's just going to finish him off. Some Zealots coming down. No legs or anything like that. Yeah, he doesn't have anything. Okay, so the more aggressive play for Royal definitely pays off a bit, but everything was blind. And that's like an important thing. He didn't get like a scout off that let him know what was going on. He just happened to be like, I'm going 3 factory this time, and this was like a very kind of greedy opener here from Motive. Yeah, I don't know that there's really a lesson to learn from this one. A little bit of luck on Motive or on Royal's side, but nice to see him mix in like a really weird 3 factory build with only 1 siege tank. I haven't really seen that in this matchup. TVT, yeah, that's a TVT build to be honest. That's what that is. Yeah, very normal there. 1 siege tank and a mass vulture, sure. Yeah, great build. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I think that'll do it for our little, you know, in-depth Royal on Eclipse guide. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.